up, everybody? Welcome back to the Emily Brooklyn Show. Today here I have my good friend Jacob Berger. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Appreciate
Of course. So I met you a couple of years ago.
Yeah, probably 2017, I would say. 2018, probably more. 2018.
And that's when we did the video.
Yeah, we did some dancing videos in the park. We did one where it's like when you see the girl of your dreams, because, you know, we're both kind of spicy whites and stuff, so... You're always dancing and stuff, and it was just my friend, you know, we had a good time.
Absolutely.
Funny stuff, you know.
No, yeah, for sure. It was very fun, and we have been, like, following each other's journeys. I've been following your journey ever since.
Absolutely.
We met up not too long ago, shot some more content.
Yeah, we got Max in there and stuff.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Good times,
we did a video where he was the fake baby father.
Yeah, she was trying to put a baby on me, but the baby obviously was not was melanated, so you know. But I didn't know any better in the skit, so you know.
Yeah.
I was just happy to have a baby. So.
No, it was fun. So right now you're on tour.
Yeah, I got part of this New Jack City musical. It's a movie from the '90s with Wesley Snipes and Ice-T, and they're doing a musical version. We have the original guy who played G Money, Alan Payne, in it, and we had Big Daddy Kane and. Stretch from Naughty by Nature, Gary Dordan, Flex Alexander, a whole bunch of talented people from theater world. We've just been traveling the country. It's been going really well. I've really enjoyed being back doing theater, and it's my first time like doing something like this on the road for an extended period of time. So we're going. I'm home now for a few weeks, and then we go back May 30th. March 30th, and then we're on the road for another month. And
fun.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah,
nice.
It's been great. Yeah.
So we were just off camera. We were talking about the difference between, like, if you would post a video and it get 4,000 views at this point, we'd be like, oh, it's doing bad. Only 4,000 people.
Yeah, well, we were just talking about how like social media, you kind of lose perspective of like how many people
are actually watching.
Like, you know, because when we post, you know, me and Emily both have a big following. So if a video we post, say after a day, only has 4,000 views, we're like, oh god, this is a flop.
I'm taking it down.
But then, like, being in front of 4,000 people in a theater, applauding us at the end of the show, like, reacting, I'm like, wow, that's, like, a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
So you kind of lose perspective, I guess, when you're a social media content. You get ungrateful for the views that, people would kill for, so to speak. But,
absolutely.
But it's been really a dope experience, but it's good to be back here in New York for a few weeks. I need to recharge my roots, so to speak.
Do you miss New York when you're gone?
Yeah, I definitely do. I mean, especially since I moved back. I was in LA for 4 years. I moved back in the summertime to New York, and it's been great being here. I don't really miss LA much.
No? You like being back?
Yeah, I mean, the energy in New York is really great right now, and LA just kind of isn't what it used to be when I first moved there 4 years ago. It's kind of fallen off as far as the collaborative energy, and it just, I don't know, maybe I'll go back someday, but for right now, I'm here to stay in New York.
It feels good being here.
Good to be back in New York.
Yeah. I feel like New York is definitely hot right now as well. Like,
yeah, the weed's legal everywhere. Like, you know me, I like to partake in the devil's lettuce. So
for sure,
so
yeah.
It's very cool to have that. Everywhere.
No, definitely, it's everywhere now.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah.
But also just that and content creators. Like, I feel like even if they're not from New York, a lot of content creators or people are coming to New York all the time right now. Like, it's like Times Square. If you go to Times Square between like 6 and 9, it's just TikTokers, like everywhere. Outside shooting content.
Well, I think the secret's out that Times Square as a backdrop is very gives your video incredible viral potential, even with the least amount of effort. It's just like, oh my god, they're in Times Square. I gotta see what's about crazy.
Absolutely.
About to happen,
And it's like filled with tourists. So like, especially for us, like when we go and shoot dance videos, like 3 seconds, there'll be a whole crowd of people, and you're just like.
What's funny though is I find some of the like guys, not to make videos, but like the dance dudes that be out there. Like everyone's like, I don't know if it's changed over the year, but now I find that they build up the hype. They're like, okay, let's get a big circle going. Like, let's get everyone going. Okay, we're gonna start the show soon. And it builds up to like the most random whack move that like just like they're not even doing a whole set of them all dancing. It'll be like, oh, let's put these three guys and one of us will jump over them, and that's the whole show. It was 20 minutes of build up, and then the one move. I'm like, y'all hustling out here.
Yeah.
Like, I get it, but like give a little show. Like I remember growing up, and you'd see them going crazy, windmills and head spins and stuff.
I agree.
That.
Since just I moved to New York,
Yeah.
like the show aspect of street shows
You feel like
in New York changed a lot.
You feel like they're just kind of trying to get a dollar.
They know what's gonna make that. They know what's gonna make
Right.
them paid.
Right.
And they know, okay, if we can hype people up for 20 minutes, say funny jokes, and then one guy flips over 10 people and we get the money, we're gonna do that.
Right.
And like I've been seeing them in the winter time, and I'm like, them being outside doing like b-boy moves and flips like that in minus degrees, like it's hard.
Oh,
like it's hard work doing street shows all day.
Especially the ones that do it like on the train and like. So I seen a dude kick a lady in the face one time. It was really bad. I was like, and it's like, don't do the show when it's packed car, like where you can kick someone in the face. Like,
it's tough. I used to do train shows as well.
I
do. Yeah. Oh. When I just moved here, I used to be on that A train every day, man.
Wow.
8 to 8.
I wish there was like some video of that, like someone.
There
probably
is.
You just don't like, you know.
I think if I go back in like my archives on Instagram, people were like, because I was viral at the time.
Oh, that was like when you just.
Yeah, I was viral. So when people saw me on the train, they'd be like, "What the hell?" Like,
I know this girl. I've seen her before.
But it's a real hustle. People make good money doing that. Yeah. Actually, like New York, you would think like, oh, people are struggling. Like, no, the people that are on those trains
if you're talented,
every day,
like you'll make like $500,000 in a day. Like, you know, especially if you go to like some yuppie area where they eat that shit up, like the Bedford stop in Williamsburg or something like that. Like, oh, it's just. So
the L train,
New York, $10, like, you know.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, you can clean up, you know.
Yeah, it's a real hustle. Like back home where I'm from, you couldn't do that.
No, there's no
not.
busking.
No,
like
there is like street shows like in the center of the city and like the walking street, but like try to go on the trains and stuff, like absolutely
it's a big
not.
Faux pas. It's
yeah.
Bad etiquette, gotcha.
Yeah, absolutely not. So last time, I don't know if this was the last time I saw you. I don't think it was the last time I saw you. I met you at the pizza party in the city.
Right, yeah.
That's when you had just moved back.
Yeah. No, it's been a few months. I think. Yeah, I can't remember the time.
Yeah.
Who would remember? It was the summertime, though.
I just remember you were like, I'm finally back. Like, it feels good to be back.
Yeah.
And then we talked a little bit about all the OnlyFans stuff you've been doing.
Oh, well, I mean,
so how did you get into that?
Oh, well, I don't do OnlyFans per se myself.
Okay.
You know, I do mostly just work with a lot of people who live in that world and such.
Okay.
You know, a lot of my comedy is adult comedy, so I work with a lot of adult entertainers and porn stars and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's not something that I'm currently getting into.
No. It was like something you did for a little period of time. It was
well,
fun.
I mean, I can earn a living, you know, collaborating with girls who want following. You know, they work with my sort of my page, and they get people. You know, I have a lot of perverts who follow me, so naturally they'll make money by collaborating with me. So it's sort of a
that's a win-win,
symbiotic relationship. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's fun.
Yeah.
Because I remember talking about that with you, and we were talking about how that could affect other work you might possibly do.
Yeah, but just as long as I'm not getting involved in it, then I should be good. I think, you know, I'm still doing my TV film grind and everything.
I think times have changed also a lot with that. Like, I don't think people look the same way. Like, a lot of people that do music and they have OnlyFans, and they like. It's a lot of people that can juggle all the worlds at the same time.
For sure.
Type of thing.
Yeah, but, you know, it's sort of, I like doing adult comedy, but with social media nowadays, you gotta be really careful as far as, like, content.
Not to get canceled?
Yeah, well, not to get your page taken and stuff like that. You know,
for sure.
Just posting stuff that, especially like Instagram, is trying to be more like TikTok these days, so they're really cleaning it up and
for sure,
taking people down left and right. So gotta be careful with the type of content.
Posting that. Yeah, I've never tried getting my stuff is pretty peachy, I guess.
Right.
PG.
I don't know. I feel like Harlem Shaking in your undies might sell. I don't know. That'd be funny.
You think people buy that on OnlyFans?
Yeah, 100%. Like you just doing like whole going off, but just in a bathing suit or something like that. Like
people are weird.
Yeah, there's something for everyone, you know. But I have friends that make crazy money doing like $50,000, $100,000 a month. For like, Jesus, I'm in the wrong profession. You know?
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
I've been asked a few times for like feet pictures and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Feet, yeah.
I was like, that's something I could do.
Well, I find that Feet Finder, they do promo on TikTok with people, like, but they do very low key. Like the skit will be about feet, but they won't. There's no actual page to tag or anything like that. But I've seen a few big TikTok creators like do content about it, like to promote it. I'm like, wow, like okay,
yeah,
to get away with it. Because like if I try to post anything that's like of any type of sexual nature on TikTok, that shit gets taken down
Really?
right away. Yeah, I don't get.
Oh, wow.
And that's what crazy. Have you seen this TikTok trend of girls being like in the clock, like, or like off a reflective surface, like having their tits out, like
No.
fully showing tits, and then they walk into the foreground, basically trying to like be slick in how they showing their tits, or even, you know,
Really?
yeah, it's a crazy. Maybe I just see it a lot because I'd be liking the video.
Probably.
So that
It
pushes
doesn't pop up
towards
on
me.
my For You page.
But it'd be wild. There's this girl, like, it'll be like, imagine like a camera set up and like it'll be a bathroom and like a closet. You'll see them like deep in the background, and you can see that they have their and then they come into the foreground. They're covered up. So it's like a kind of like a game of chicken. Like, will TikTok notice this or not? And these people are getting like hella views. I'm like, how are they not getting taken down? They're showing.
But TikTok is
Yeah.
also fucking up a lot with that. Because I see a lot of girls that get their stuff taken down where it's not sexual in any type of way. Like,
Right.
where they're wearing a crop top or
like
something.
busty or something like that.
Right, and it's just like, okay, we might be taking it a little too far. Speaking of that, have you ever been canceled?
As far as what, like for content I make?
Yeah.
No.
No?
Really. No, I mean, I've always sort of had my pulse to the culture and what's going on. I mean, I definitely have done some content that's you gotta have a really dark sense of humor and stuff like that to appreciate it.
Yeah.
But no, I've done pretty good about not messing up in any way.
That's good.
And at the end of the day, you're always gonna have some. There's always gonna be a percentage of people who don't like what you do.
For sure. For sure. That's the inevitable.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I learned a long time ago not to like pay that any mind and
Yeah.
stuff like that, because ultimately I know the steps I'm doing, and you know, especially like as you know, I can include you as white entertainers in the black entertainment space. Like you know, we definitely have to watch our P's and Q's and always be conscious of who we are and be grateful that we're able to have a following and earn a living within basic communities of color and.
For sure.
And making sure we don't, you know, do or say anything stupid. At the end of the day, like, we're genuine, like, we're real people. Like, that's why,
Right.
like, people who fake the funk, so to speak, get, you know, pointed out quickly and get canceled for because they use hip hop in like an exploitive fashion. It's not like in their heart and soul the way it is with like me and you know.
I feel like TikTok has changed that a lot because like anybody can learn like a few hip hop dance steps now and like get millions of followers and
like Becky from the Burbs does One Little Baby like rapping along and she goes super viral just for being a white chick from the Burbs, but might have no connection to hip hop culture or have any black friends or anything like that.
Yeah,
you know?
TikTok is kind of funny in that space, but it will also get called out quickly.
And internet, and also TikTok. There's people who have what they're calling it now like constant internet takes, where it's like their opinions that only exist on TikTok or on the internet. It's not something that happens in real life. I remember I posted a video. It was using an audio. It's like that baby deserves death penalty, like straight to the electric chair. And I used it in the context of like when you're on a flight and there's a baby crying. Like, and I posted it. I did really well, but I had all these mothers like trying to like get at me like, this is messed up. Like if you don't like it, then go get a private plane. Like it's hard enough being a mother with a baby, and you want to chastise. I'm like, yo, you think I'm actually advocating to have this baby put to death? And like, you can't identify with the universal feeling of a crying baby on a plane, how it's irritating to everyone. Like it doesn't mean like oh, it's like it was. I was being facetious. Like be fucking for real. Like you know so.
I cannot relate to that because I've been on a plane with my crying son. And I was just as frustrated as everybody else on that airplane. So I don't know what they were talking about.
No, they took it way too seriously. And like, I don't know if they're trying to cancel, like, to relate back to your earlier, but there are definitely a lot of, there was like a concerted effort. Like, it clearly had gotten to some mother's page that like they all started like attacking me at once, like coming at me.
But the internet is so funny in that way because like, all the hate I get online, I have never not once received in real life. Not once.
No one comes up to you in real life. The haters. That's why I laugh at them. I like to clap back, but I had to stop because they'll like report your comment and then you'll get in trouble, even if it's something very benign, like oh you're a loser,
But you would go personal. You would like
I like to go personal. Like if someone goes at me, I go to their page. Like, I always be like, if they have an RIP someone in their bio, I immediately like, oh, but like, you know, your dad, John, was a huge fan of mine, like, you know, and stuff like that, you know.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I just, it's petty because they want to be petty, and then they get, oh, why are you responding? Why are you getting, I'm like, well, you want to be petty with me, I'm gonna be petty with you,
right?
So
yeah. And they always expect you to be the bigger person because you have the following or whatever.
That. Yeah, I mean, you do have to ignore a certain segment of people, but sometimes there's comments I'm just like, oh, I gotta clap back at this person, like, I'm not gonna let this shit slide. Like, you wouldn't say that to someone in person, like, going back to what you just said, like, people don't say this stuff in person. It's always love when I run into people. I never had a fan be like, oh, you like goofy motherfucker, let's fight. Like, it's never like that. It's always love,
Yeah, for sure. Me too. The other day, I had a weird experience. I was walking, and these two guys came, and one of them was like, oh, I watch all your videos. Like, I'm a big fan. The other guy was like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like, I be hating on you in your comments. Like, he just straight admitted it to my face.
That happened.
He was like, yeah, I be in your comments hating
hilarious.
on you.
I never had that happen.
I never had that either.
You chuckled, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't know how to react. I was like, oh, you're a hater, and I met you, and you admitted it to my face.
Yeah,
because,
I respect that.
I was like, okay. But what's always so funny is that they'll meet you in real life, and they'll be like, or he was like, yeah, I would hate you in your comments, but like, you're really cool. Like, you seem really cool. Like, I'm happy I met you, and it's just like,
right.
Okay.
Well, I think it's human nature to be jealous of people who are successful, especially if you're someone who maybe hasn't experienced success themselves in their life, or
and I think it's like
project those feelings onto other people.
And when you're an easy target as well, like, I think I'm an easy target because of like what I do and how I look, and like there's so many things you can pick at. Right. And it's funny because I don't care, but in the beginning when I first was going viral, I definitely
What is your audience? Cared. Is your audience like 50-50 men to women, or
is it now more? It is.
It is.
It used to be way more men though.
Right. But you did some good female outreach and stuff and expanded.
I had some postpartum depression and stuff, and that attracted some women. Nice. But before that, it was like I think it was like 80-20 maybe men.
Yeah, that's what I have is 80-20, and it's like I love all my fans, but like I'm like, damn, why can't like some super hot chick come running up and be like, oh my god, it's Jacob? It's always like, yo, what's up, fam? Like, a big fan, get a picture with you, like
Yeah, I used to have.
And they put their like, when people want to take pictures of you, like, sometimes they don't know what to do with their hands. Like, there's dudes who, like, I think they just do it because they don't realize it, but they'll put their hand in the small of my back. And I'm like, bro, chill out. Like, pause. Like, you don't need to put your hand there to, like, take a picture with me. Like, you don't need to put it, like, in the small of my back. Like, that's weird. Like,
Yo, for sure. Actually, I take something with me.
You cancel for saying that.
Yeah, don't say too much. But I brought a thing with me that you taught me actually. When we were shooting content on Broadway, a lot of people were coming up, and you offered to all of them, you want to get a picture?
Right.
And I remember you telling me that after, like, I like to offer it to them so they don't feel uncomfortable about having to ask that. Yeah. And I actually took that with me. Like, now when I meet people that I'm like, you want to get a picture? Yeah. And all of them are like, yeah, but I didn't want to ask.
Yeah, because they're pensive, and especially if you're working, they don't want to bother you. Like,
yeah, for sure.
But I know the stare when people look at it, like they want, it's easier just to, especially if you're shooting and you need to like not be distracted, like let's get the picture out of the way and keep it moving and stuff like that. Because especially if you take that 30 seconds to take a picture with someone, like it really just like makes that person's day, and like also might solidify that fanship where they're like, oh, I'm always gonna rock with Emilie because she spent time to like talk to like a real human and took a picture with me and stuff like that. One time.
And
it was.
And what happened?
I was when I was living in LA.
Yeah.
And I was getting DoorDash or whatever, Postmates or something. Yeah. And the guy comes up and he's like, "Oh my god!" Like, I was like all hungover, like I looked like shit, like I was probably in my Tony Soprano robe, like just looking at my hair,
just not feeling it.
He's like, "Yo, you might get a picture with you?" I'm like, normally I say yes, but like I'm really like just not. Like, can I just get my food, please? I'm sorry, like. Yeah. And then, lo and behold, I walk inside. I look at the food. He gives me the wrong order. I'm like, I ordered like what I had to order, like a burger and fries or something like that. And he gave me a poke bowl, like, so total opposite. So then I went on my story. I'm like, yo, if you're the driver, okay, I couldn't get in touch with him. I'm like, if you're the guy who usually gave me the wrong order, like, please come back. So he ended up coming back after I ate the Pokeball, and of course I got my refund because I'm like, this isn't the food.
This isn't what I wanted.
He saw the story and he came back like an hour and a half later. He's like, "Yo, my bad, bro. Here's the food. I'm sorry about that."
That's so funny.
I'm like, "Okay, let's take the picture now." Like,
and then you took
the picture. Yeah, I was like, "That's what I get for like not giving the pictures. I get the food."
You get the
Pokeball. He was so
Pokeball.
excited to see me that he gave me the wrong food.
Damn.
So yeah,
no, I had
lesson learned.
A thing to me now is people in my gym know who I am now. And that used to be like my incognito place where I could just go. Well, not that like.
Why you feel people staring at you? Or?
I don't know. I just like to be like in my zone in the gym.
Right. You don't want to be bothered in there.
Yeah, so it started like with the people that worked there. They knew who I was.
Right.
And then it like started to spread. And then the other day.
That girl from
yeah. And then the other day, this guy, he came up and I was like all red, sweaty, no makeup. Just a mess working out. Right. And he was like, but he was being very nice and be like, if you don't mind, like, let's get a picture. And I was like, I mean, let me just finish my workout and like maybe not be this red in the face. And then, I mean, I still look like shit, but it's like, you're a fan, you're a supporter. So I'm gonna always like appreciate anybody that supports me,
Right.
And it's like, if I went up to somebody that I was supportive of or a fan of, it would mean a lot to me if they would take a picture with me. Yeah. So you gotta always have that.
It was funny when I first went viral in 2017, and people started coming up to me in the street when I'm taking the train or whatever like that. I was in Harlem. I was going to a shoot with Ken, and a guy is I'm standing there at the corner, and the guy's looking at me, staring at me, that look when you feel like they're trying to figure out where I know this person from. So I go up to him. I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he's like, "What's up?" Super. I'm like, "Oh, nothing. I thought you you recognized me. You wanted to take a picture." So he's like, "I don't know, you cracker. Get the fuck out of here." No, this, that, and third. I was like, "Oh, my bad." I forgot that for a minute that "Oh yeah, I'm just a big ass cop looking dude in the middle of Harlem." That's probably why he's staring, not because I'm famous now and stuff.
That's so funny. Yeah, So what was your first viral video? Was that with the cop?
No, my first viral video, well, to take it all the way back, I had a semi-viral video. I did a parody to Meek Mill's I'm a Boss, I'm a Jew back in 2010. And that got reblogged by Barstool Sports. So that was kind of maybe I have a future in entertainment. So then that's when I left I'd already been laid off, but I left the field of social work to become an entertainer.
That's what you were doing prior?
Yeah, I was a social worker. I was doing outpatient treatment for people who are mentally ill and chemically addicted and stuff like that. I just found it really wasn't the line of work that I guess was right for me at the end of the day, even though I've been groomed for that for many years because both my parents are social workers.
Got it.
So that went a little viral, and then I just started becoming an actor and grinded it out for many years, just building my reels and doing web series, student films, anything I get my hands on. 2014, I started getting major TV film roles, working on various TV shows. Then 2017 is when everything changed with the social media.
So what I wanted to ask you about, we talked about it a little bit before, but if you want to get into acting in New York, where's the places you could go, schools, courses? Did you take an acting course?
Yeah, I did professional children's theater when I was younger. Okay. So I was kind of had that theater background a bit. From the ages of 9 to 13. So I had a little bit of foundation, but I didn't train classically. But once I decided I was going to become an actor, I took classes at UCB for improv. I did a summer program at William Esper Studio, which is a pretty well-renowned acting studio. Some classes at Stella Adler. There's lots of prestigious New York training places that you could get training. You don't necessarily need to do a 2-year conservatory where you're paying $100,000 to go to acting school. But for most people, I recommend really just start buying books about acting, start reading, learning about it, and really just kind of jump into it. There's no real equation. You kind of just have to learn as you go and learn from your mistakes. And I feel all the training I've done is I just kind of combine everything I've learned into just being, emotionally present in the moment when I'm doing acting. And, just, if you have to really love it at the end of the day, and you have to love the journey. You can't get fixated on I want to be this famous actor that everyone loves. You got, back before I made it, I still have a long way, but before I earn a living from doing what I love, I love the grind of not knowing when my next check is gonna come, like grinding it out, doing a million different side hustles to put a roof over my head. Like, you know, those first 6 years were definitely very help build the foundation of who I am today. You need to have that. You need to learn how to just love the grind. Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, you know, and luckily I was in a place where I was able to make that grind happen and move forward. And you just have to believe that you're gonna make it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because I've had a lot of friends who have left the entertainment field over the years. Because I've been in show business now for close to 12 years, and there's people who just they couldn't cut it. They just couldn't, for whatever, you know. There's a lot of talented people, but a big part of show business is the business part of it, learning how to make it work financially, and a lot of people just don't have that luxury or ability to do it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's also about like being professional. At the end of the day, I feel like I have so many friends that are talented dancers, but like I could never bring them onto a gig. You know what I mean? Like, because it's like you don't know how to be professional and talk to people, and there's like all kinds of etiquettes when it comes to this industry stuff. I feel like you have to know how to act in certain, especially as a dancer. Like, I have to know, doing what I do, I act a certain way when I go to a dance
what
battle.
You mean I can't be 30 minutes late and smoke weed on set? Like, you know, what are you talking
and
about?
Come in
like,
smelling like a pound and be late and like, it definitely takes like a certain professionalism to keep doing it for that many years.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna fault everyone for that. You know, some people just might not know any better. Like,
absolutely.
You know? But that's one of the reasons why I've been able to be successul in social media, is because I feel like I bring that level of professionalism that I bring to TV and film. I bring it to social media. I mean, I don't know. Like, a lot of people, like, when I message them, like, you know, I have people all the time message me like, "Yo, let's work, fam," or like put me in a video, like.
Yeah.
Not even introduced to, like, I'm like, this is the worst way to try and get a collab going. Like, me, when I mess people, I would be like, "Hi, my name is Jacob Berger. I'm a TV film actor and content creator. You might have seen some of my viral videos as a police officer. I really love your content. I have some ideas that I would like to possibly collab with you on. Message me back if you'd be interested."
Right.
Something as simple as that gets people's attention. Like, you know, so
and not
knowing how to word not just let's work. Like, you know.
Yeah. And also not be afraid to reach out. I feel like it's very, very, very important in our industry. Because it's like a lot of people might not know who you are or what you do, or like, especially in those like first upcoming years, it's just reaching out, working with not any and everybody, but anybody that can bring something you can learn something from.
Yeah, and you gotta learn how to just, you know, market your, like, showing what you bring to the table, like, at the end of the day, like, especially if you're gonna try to collaborate with someone who's like above your status, like, as far as following, like, they have millions of followers, like, they got to know what you're bringing to the table, because they have a laundry list of people that they can work with that want to work with them. So it's like, what makes you unique, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So what's next for you? What's like, if you could paint a picture of where you would be in 5 years, like perfect scenario, where would you be?
I'd say, you know, just working regularly on a TV show or something of that nature.
Yeah.
You know, I'd love to get just some bigger auditions. You know, I've sort of had a lot of what they call co-star roles. So that's like between 1 to 5 lines. Usually, I had a recurring guest star in California on a sitcom, but just continue to keep growing. I'm 38 years old, so I feel like a lot of roles for TV and film will be coming. New roles will be coming when I start hitting my 40s in the next few years. So I'm excited for that, and hopefully just continue feeling a passion for performing, and just continue making good memories and friendships with people, and building from there.
That's a cool thing about acting, though. Is like, with age comes new roles, and it opens new doors. Where with dancing is very much like, once I hit 35, it's time to figure out what's gonna happen from here. Like, you know, like, especially as a female, if you do like a lot of music videos and stuff like that, like
your body starts to break down.
Yeah, and it's just it's hard labor, you know. It's tough work. I think dance got put on #1 list of hardest work, but it's like lowest on the paid. Like, it's literally in
well, I can see you like well into your 60s still, like at the old folks home, like teaching them how to pop and lock and stuff.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna be always dancing.
You know, so.
Yeah, I'm probably always gonna be dancing, but I think like the goal is to probably also for you is to like branch out in all types of
Yeah,
different
build a
things, do
brand,
different
have other
things.
things. I mean, obviously, right here, podcast is something you're branching out from your origins of
Yeah,
dancing because you want to have multiple things going on.
yeah,
because dancing won't be forever, same as acting won't be forever. I mean, it's gonna get to a point where I feel like I'm gonna be too old to make sketch comedy videos about a
about
girl
hot
shit.
girls.
Yeah, like when I'm in my 50s, like I still want to be doing like fucking.
You could be like the
Instagram
Hugh
videos.
Hefner of comedy
Yeah, I
sketch.
could be like what's his face, Rodney Dangerfield or something. But
Yeah,
ideally, by that time, I'll have other things secured. But who
yeah,
knows?
yeah.
Maybe live by the gram, die by the gram.
Yeah, you never know where life takes you.
Yeah.
You've been doing it 10 years
show
now?
business like 12 years. Almost,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Social
amazing.
media for 5. Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. A lot of people, like you said, they stop in that journey.
Mm-hmm.
You also have to have a kind of delusion, I think, with this industry stuff. Like, you have to believe in yourself
Yeah.
to the point where it's like almost you feel delusional because it's like,
because no one's gonna believe in you more than you do yourself. So like you really can't like have. That's why you have to put in the work. You have to be the one grinding it out. And like
yeah,
a lot of people don't want to put in that work. They just want things to be handed to them. And at the end of
no,
the day,
absolutely.
we're especially being from New York. It's just the hustler mentality here. Like I gotta grind it out. I'll make it some way somehow. If you're truly passionate about it, you'll find a way to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, a little harder nowadays with the economy the way it is and everything going crazy.
Yeah.
But you find a way to make it work at the end of the day.
Yeah. I heard somebody say like a good way to explain being an artist in New York. He was like, I can't remember where I heard this, but he said you're a coffee bean, like you're just in the grinder, like just grinding.
Yeah.
Like it's just New York is just like constant new hustles, new things. But that's why I feel like people ask me all the time, why don't you move to LA? Why don't you move to LA? But it's like for me, LA is the industry and New York is the culture and the hustle and like.
What was the weirdest? Was there a weird side hustle that you did early on, or like some gig that you had where it's like, this is wild that I'm doing this?
I mean, for many years I was sweeping hair in my mom's barbershop.
Okay.
To make ends meet. That was back in Denmark.
Okay.
Yeah. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Absolutely.
I was even thinking about OnlyFans at one point, but I took it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, never too late,
Yeah, I'm like,
Right.
Yeah, but it's fun, and like I heard somebody also, I don't know where I got this from either, but they was talking. Oh, it was a pastor.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to a pastor, and he said, because you were talking about loving the grind and all of that, and he said like the worst thing I could do to somebody right now is give them everything that I have, the house, the job, the mansion, the money, because they would know what to do with it.
Right. It's
like the grind is what builds you to that point of like being grateful and being humble.
Well, that's why like I don't know if you noticed, like I noticed that the creators who kind of like become famous like off of one video, like it wasn't like where they're just like they're 15 minutes like the celebrity overnight kind of thing. Like they kind of fizzle out because they don't know how to deal with the sort of the business of being at that level, or like they haven't prepared themselves to be at that level, because I had a whole year of making content and grinding it out before I went mega viral and stuff, so it kind of helped me have a foundation to be able to handle it as it came.
Yeah, for sure. It's like you gotta shape yourself into becoming ready for that. Just like if you were a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, you go to school for years and you prep yourself to come to that point. You don't just get the title overnight. Because it comes with a lot of responsibility, I feel like, with a big following. It's a lot of people that's watching you and looking up to you. And do you want to be a role model, or do you rebuke that? A lot of people are like, I don't want to be a role model. I'm not a role model.
A role model in the sense of going after your dream and like, making it happen and being creative in that sense. Yeah, I would say I like to be a role model. I mean, I get messages from people that are like, oh, your content helps me get through dark times. I'd be depressed or suicidal, and watching some of your videos helps take my mind off of things. Like those are the things that really make me feel good about what I do.
That's beautiful.
It makes it overcome any hate messages I get or anything like that. And I realize, oh, my content actually because then it makes you realize like what you do is like bigger than yourself. Like it's you're in the conversation, the culture. Like, you know, people look up to you for entertainment, and like that's a very important thing in our society, because people, especially nowadays with how messed up the world is, like people need an escape for a little bit, and if that means they can have, you know, the voices in their head calm down for 5 minutes by looking at a few videos on my page, then like I think I've done my job.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's the 50-year anniversary of hip hop this year. I know you're a big hip hop fan as well. So what's your top 5?
What's my top 5? Always the question.
Mine's top 5.
I'm going to give an interesting one, because I know everyone does the typical, like, Biggie, Tupac, Nas, Jay-Z. Like, no, they're not, like, none of those, like, in no particular order. I would say Raekwon from Wu-Tang Clan. He's just, overall, his wordplay is just really amazing, and, you know, he's gotten really good shine, but like there's albums and songs that most general public haven't heard. Songs that they're just fire to me. Maybe it's because I'm from New York. I just like his vernacular is just top notch. And then every rapper's favorite rapper, Sean Price. He was one of my favorites. You know, he had some commercial success, but I just liked the way he rapped, and he was just goofy about it, just getting at people. Then I'd say. I really like Action Bronson. I know he's still fairly new, but I just think I like him way more than Eminem if we go into the white rapper category. Like, you know,
that's tough.
Damn. I never really
taking it there.
I never really rock like when you go to a party, like, oh, throw on some Eminem. Like that never happens in real life. Like that's like a listening by yourself. So I would say Action Bronson's up there.
Okay.
And then I guess. I'd say the Migos probably, over just because what hip hop is today, it wouldn't exist without the Migos. I feel like they're the originators of the sort of sound that is today.
That's a good one.
And who else? I'd say, I guess Nas. Yeah, Nas is definitely a top. That's 4.
That was 5.
That was 5. Yeah. Yeah, Nas is, you know, he's obviously, that's one generic one that I guess everyone has on the top 5. But
it's well deserved though. So
yeah. So mainly New York. Cause I'm 38, so I grew up in the era like of 90s hip hop, like early 2000s. Oh, but then how can I forget about like the Lox too, like Jadakiss, like one of my favorite rappers.
Heavy.
Like, you know, just a lot of it's just the New York sound. I love listening to music that makes me like head go like that. It makes you want to just like slice someone's face open, like, you know, just
that's the best feeling.
Yeah, it's just like I will rock your shit right now if you come in my face, like, you know, I will beat you up, like that's the type of New York sound I like. But I also like the newer stuff. I like the drill stuff too. I like the Pop Smoke, but some drill stuff is getting too crazy.
I was about to say, are you tired of the drill stuff? Because I'm tired.
I mean, I really like a lot of the drill rappers and the sound, but sometimes it's getting a little too much. Like I saw her song the other day where it's just like the dude's just naming off people that he got beef with or that he shot, like with Marco, Freddy, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm just like, this is like a little too much. I think there needs to be a little more originality in the scene. You know, obviously Pop Smoke was kind of the one that originated that sound here in New York. But yeah, I think there's room to keep evolving and stuff like that. But I think it's unfair how the mayor and people try and scapegoat it as like something that leads to actual, you know, violence, societal violence and stuff like that. You know, it's a whole other conversation, but
it is. And it's a tough one too, because it's like it's two-way street, right? Because on one side it's like these people live this life, they're just speaking their truth in their music.
Right.
But then it's also a whole generation of young kids growing up looking up to these rappers and be like, I want to be like them. Right. So if all they talk about is killing and shooting people, like, how can it not affect them in a certain type of way, you know? Like, I know when I grew up and like we would listening to, I don't know, Britney and Christina, and that all like affected us. We wanted to dress like them. We wanted to be like them. You know what I mean? And that's what you do when you're young and you look up. I don't know if it actually leads into real violence, but like I know that New York has never been more violent than it is right now.
Well, I have that. I mean, I've listened to hip hop my whole life, and I never like had to be like, oh, let me go beat someone up or slice someone. Like I never.
No,
had that.
Of course
inclination.
Yeah, and it's like it's the same thing with anything that's extreme. Like you can never know where somebody's intentions are coming from. Is it coming from the influence of the music? Is it coming from the family? Is it obviously if you go out and kill somebody, there is something off more than just you listening to drill music. I'm pretty sure that's not the full case. But like growing up in New York and like experiencing the 90s in New York, like do you feel like it was worse back then or worse now when it comes to crime and stuff like that?
Honestly, I don't think like there's some stuff going on, but I don't think it's nearly as bad as people try and like scare attack, make people out to be. At the end of the day, like New York's always been like a dangerous place. You always gotta keep your head on a swivel. It's not like anything's switched up. I think there's people who have, like I said, online takes, like people who don't ride the subway, like, oh, I would never take the subway, it's so dangerous. I'm like, what are you like? I take the subway every day, like it's fine, it's absolute. Yeah, there's gonna be some shit that pop off, but that's always been New York City, you know.
Yeah. So you don't feel like it's worse?
No, it's New York's always been New York. At the end of the day, I mean, you know, you need that sort of sense of level of danger too, because that's how the real world is. You can't be, you know, sort of prevented from experiencing that sort of thing, and that's why I think I got a well-rounded sort of upbringing. Is like, I'm not from the Bronx. I'm from like a upper middle class neighborhood. Like, being around all types of people and neighborhoods helped shape me and make me a better, well-rounded person as a result of that, of being in maybe not the most savory places, you know, at times.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I think New York is dangerous right now.
You got robbed? You got robbed?
I've had a bunch of stuff happen to me in this city.
Oh, dang. What
Absolutely. Happened? I'm a female, first of all.
Right.
I think it's very different for females right now. Like, quick example, right? Yeah. I went to North Carolina for 24 hours. Right. I just got back. I'm at Jamaica Station. I know this is a bad example because Jamaica Station is crazy. But I'm there. I swear to God, I haven't been back in New York for more than 5 minutes. Yeah. A guy's following me around the whole train station. I left the train station just because I realized he followed me. I went to the deli. He followed me all the way into the deli. I ordered an Uber. He stood there the whole time, watched me get in the Uber.
Maybe he was nervous to ask for a picture, you know?
He did not know me. He did not know me.
I know.
He was a creep. That was one thing that, like, we're talking, I was not in New York back for more than 5 minutes, and that happened. A guy asked for money. That's regular shit. But it's just like, damn, I haven't been here more than 5 minutes and already 7 things occurred to me. Like,
that's
New
true.
York
I definitely do have a certain level of privilege being a white male who's tall in New York City.
Yeah, you don't. Like, I don't.
Because they usually have a cop, so no one's gonna mess with me, really. Like, you know.
Yeah, especially if they believe you're a real cop from all your skits and stuff. They're definitely. Well, I mean,
just around walking around, you know, people just automatically assume, you know, so.
Oh yeah, when I first moved here, like they didn't want to sell me Lucy's and stuff like that in the bodega because they thought I was a cop. I was just like they really would, like my friend would be like, go buy it. I would go buy it. They'd tell me no. I'd have to tell my friend like, you gotta go because they're not letting me buy it. They think I'm a cop. But yeah, I guess it's also very different with the neighborhoods here in New York, but. Ultimately, I love being here. I love creating
no place
here.
Like New York.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm happy to see all the transplants leaving. Like, I'm like, good riddance, get out of here. Like, we don't need y'all, you know.
Yeah, well, I definitely appreciate you pulling up today and
Absolutely.
having a little chat with me.
Ready to shoot some content too?
Let's do it. Let's go.
Shoot some skits, so stay tuned.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for tuning back in this week. I'm excited about this episode. I'm excited about what the future has to bring for my podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.